the Cleveland Guardians. Currently in a series with the Kansas City Royals, rained out tonight, unfortunately, but a big 8-5 win last night thanks to Bobby Witt's throwing error. Appreciate that. But they've been on a roll. Currently 5 ahead of Kansas City, 7 ahead of Minnesota. They promoted 27-year-old Daniel Schneemann over the weekend. That's a guy I've been waiting to see, and all he did in his first at bat was smack a 2-run double.
Not first at bat. First pitch he ever saw in the major leagues.
Yeah, first major league.
That's right.
Turned on that inside fastball and ripped it down the right field line.
To be fair, every pitch after that has been downhill for him, but that one first pitch was fantastic.
He was supposed to play center field tonight, so that would have been interesting. He
might still play center field tomorrow.
Yeah. The bullpen just continues to be amazing. Emmanuel Clase is just absolutely dominant right now. 0.30 ERA. He's only 20 saves now away from Cody Allen's team record of 149. So it's pretty good chance he breaks that this year.
0.0 ERA in the entire month of May with 10 saves. I can't remember a reliever ever doing that with double-digit saves in the same month. Like, this is stuff that I don't remember Mariano Rivera or Trevor Hoffman doing, and that they're considered the greats of the position. They are the top closers in the game in its history. And you're talking about not just rarefied air. We're talking about air that nobody else has ever experienced before with Emmanuel Clase.
And speaking of Bobby Witt, he struck him out to end the game on a 101-mile-per-hour cutter inside that was just absolutely filthy. I don't know anybody can hit off that guy right now.
The Kansas City Royals would like me to remind you he is the franchise Bobby Witt Jr. Please continue.
Oh, he's a hell of a player. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's one of the greats, and he's going to go down as one of the greats. Kansas City got a absolute stud in Bobby Witt Jr. It's just disappointing that the rest of that team is going to suffer.
So looking at the shortstop position was one thing I wanted to talk about. A couple guys who have been in and out of there, Gabriel Arias, Brian Rocchio, are struggling to stay above the Mendoza line. I think Rocchio's defense and speed is kind of keeping him in there right now. But, Schneemann played shortstop. But you got a guy down in Columbus right now who's one of their higher-tier prospects who's on a tear named Jose Tena. He got a little bit of run at the end of last season. He's hitting 286 with 8 home runs. So maybe time to give Tena a shot at playing short. And then the last thing is what do you do with Bo Naylor at this point?
Send him down.
Yeah, he's hitting 173, and he just looks lost up there. Now, I had high hopes with how we finished last year. I mean, this is a big sophomore slump. David Fry should maybe get more time at catcher. He's not a bad catcher, and we've seen what he's done offensively. So, what do you guys? What are your opinions, Paul? We'll start with you. You're the resident baseball guru. What are your thoughts?
I usurped James. Suck it. Sorry, I wasn't sure which direction he was going to go with that. So
don't make me come over there. We start moving some furniture.
I already have a steel chair right to my right side at all times in case somebody breaks in my door.
Yeah, don't forget his wrestling background, James.
I got that figured out. So, with regards to Tena, no, it's not time, and there's a very annoying reason for that, and it's just simply you got to give these youngsters a little more time to prove either they can't do it or they can do it. All-Star break, yes. If we're at the point where we're at right now, still at the All-Star break, then yes, coming out of the All-Star break, go for it. Give us that second half push, that player that comes to the team and is not a trade, but is a trade, and it makes us feel good inside, and now we go forward without making a trade deadline move. The Cleveland Guardians special, as we like to call that. With regards to Bo Naylor, I love the Naylor brothers. I think it's great that we have a brother that are playing on the same team, but this isn't working out. And I warned you guys this was going to happen last year when everybody was calling for Bo Naylor to get called up, and I told you then he's not ready. And yes, he came in like a house on fire, and he was fantastic. But he's proving he's not ready. Send him down, get him some regular at-bats in AAA, get him comfortable and back to the headspace that he was in last year that made him a star for the second half of this team, and then you can bring him back up. But right now, you have an like this, it boggles my mind that David Fry is not an everyday player. This dude is a stud, and he came out of nowhere, and you're just letting him play everywhere? Put him behind the plate, let Austin Hedges work with him, and see if you can develop him. Because clearly, the upside with David Fry right now is greater than the upside for Bo Naylor. And that's not a knock on Bo. I want Bo to succeed. I just don't see it right now. And I didn't see it last year either. And I was right.
And James, how about you?
Well, yeah, Paul, you started out pretty good, and then you just nosedived. So, number one, Bo Naylor did not come up and just hit the ball over the field. If you remember, he struggled a little bit. And a lot of these guys, and Paul, you and I talked about, down at AAA, down to Huntington Park, it's more homer friendly. So it's guys can inflate their numbers and look and their offensive numbers because of the shorter outfield. But you got to let some of these young guys get up there and play, because do you want to send them down every time they struggle and start rattling people's confidence? Or do you want to give some of these guys, like you were saying at the beginning, let them play it out? You know, we're still only in June. We got plenty of time. Look at our lead in the division. Look how well we're playing. Sometimes you got to take clubhouse chemistry into play with how things are going. So that's why sometimes no change is the best thing that you can do. Let these guys play. It's you can't offensively. Not everybody's going to come up and just hit the cover off the ball. We're very fortunate last year that Gavin Williams and Bybee and Logan came up out of AAA and helped balance a pitching staff out as rookies, which was way probably over their head to an extent to have the seasons they did, especially Tanner. I mean, I'm sure he expected that, but it's still a lot to ask out of rookies. But Rocchio was the guy that Mel last year, shout out to Mel on Guardians, she would talk about wanting Rocchio up there and Ahmed Rosario gone, and now you got Rocchio up there putting up some Rosario-type numbers. But it doesn't feel the same, right? It feels like this is a young guy that just needs some more time, that has a higher ceiling. Not only him, but looking at Tyler Freeman. He's obviously got more home runs than Miles Straw, but his average suffers a little bit too. So to me, let these guys play. Let's get into All-Star break. Let some of these young guys breathe a little bit. They're not going to participate in the All-Star weekend. Bo Naylor, same thing. Let him breathe. Let him play. He's got Austin Hedges there. He's got Sandy Alomar as a coach. He's got Fry that they can plug in, like you're saying. I like that. But just I see what you're saying. You want to give them every day at bats, and that's the catch-22. Everybody wants to bring these guys up. They're on fire at AAA. Well, they got to have room to play too, right? So what do? You got to hand it to our front office, and then now you're a rookie manager of balancing what we're doing this year. And I'm just thankful for it. And that's why I hate to see us just kind of start peeling away from guys like Bo and Rocchio and Freeman that are now getting some playing time. I think we got to stick with them, because I think that's what the front office is going to do.
Clarence, how you feeling about the guards?
Honestly, start of the season, I would kind of, it's like that old major league. You're like, who the fuck are these guys? But
Twice now.
It seems like I didn't drop it.
Shitty.
Yeah, my mom might be watching, so I didn't drop it. But
Hi, Clarence's mom.
The goat.
But the thing is that they're playing well. And I have not dove all the way into the Guardians. I'm a guy, I wait until NBA is over, but at baseball as a whole, I will kind of follow along. But it seems like this team is playing decently, and I don't know. I almost feel like if they have guys in the minors that they can bring up that might spell some of the guys that are there, give them a shot. And you know, it's kind of one of those things where, like James said, you do have to have somewhere to put them at, and obviously you do want to be able to give these guys enough at bats to get comfortable. But I almost feel like they're playing with house money. Like nobody expected them to be this good right now.
Yep.
So, you know what? If you got a couple guys down in Columbus, bring them up. Let's see what happens. Go from there.
Keep
Here's
balling.
my question. Here's my question to you guys. Trade deadline comes up. Do you really want to make a move, or do you just kind of want to stand pat and see how far this team can go? Because this team right now is capable of making the postseason and making a run. And you have to be able to beat the Yankees and the Dodgers. And there's not too many teams that can do that. I would rather hold on to some assets for next year, let the Yankees back up the truck to Juan Soto and bankrupt themselves accidentally, and see what we can do in 2025 with this team. Because 2024, I don't think we're winning the World Series. I didn't think that at the beginning of the season. And while they're showing promise, I still don't think they're the number one team in baseball. I want to see this team just kind of calmly stay together, because I know there's been a lot of talk about Chase DeLauter being a trade chip. And I don't know that I want to do that yet.
You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what next year is going to bring. You're in a position like this. You make the moves. You make the big moves now. And supposedly from all that's been heard is Dolan has given the green light to add payroll at the deadline. So I think they go for it this year.
I don't. It's just when you mean go for it. Like, are you talking? What big name are you thinking?
Yeah, that's
You
because I heard
thinking
Bo
as a
Bichette,
starting
and I
pitcher?
don't want Bo Bichette.
Starting pitcher and a bat if possible. Luzardo from the Marlins is a prime candidate, and he's a young guy. I think he's 26 years old. He's a guy you can add to the core.
Yeah, and he's going to be expensive. And I'm not talking contract. I'm talking.
Oh yeah,
what we're going to have to give up for sure. So.
Oh, that would put us in the big trade of the deadline. We would be the feature on MLB Network where they're like, the Guardians trade the farm for one pitcher.
Yeah, but you also have to think about too. Right now, we've been doing all this without Gavin Williams. Adding Gavin Williams, if he can be healthy, is like making a trade. We're already 20 games over 500, and then to add a Gavin Williams. So you never know.
What's the difference, Kevin, between a small market club and a big market club? We think like small market because we're used to this stuff. We know what we're getting here. We know what to expect from the front office because we've seen it.